50 matches over nearly a month, 140 goals, the most we've ever seen in a European tournament. And we've arrived at the final. Italy and England, two massive nations in the footballing world, get to take the pitch at 3 o'clock Eastern on Sunday and determine a champion. Welcome into our show, everybody. Alongside Efan Ekoku, Steve McManaman, Sami Khedira, I'm Dallin Cuff. Let's start things off here with the matchup itself, guys. And Efan, I'll start with you. When you looked at the round of 16, when the bracket was set, is this the matchup you would have hoped to see in the final?
I think so. Certainly, the host nation in a way, England, playing pretty much. I had to get that one in quickly. Couldn't help it. Obviously, a footballing giant without the success, to go with all the history. And Italy, obviously, their record is second to only Germany, really, in European football in the last 80 or 90 years. So with a massive Italian contingent as well in England and London in particular, it's a fantastic stage and setting, for what promises to be a great final.
Naka?
Yeah, of course, you don't want to choose, but when you looked at that side of the bracket and you've got Italy, Spain, Belgium, I think any team that was going to get out of it was going to be a powerhouse, was going to be a big team. On this side of the bracket, of course, England, Germany met really early on and knocked one of them out. But then once you saw the other teams, I think England, with the final being at Wembley, I think it's a perfect game for them and a fitting game for the final.
Sami, I won't make you answer the same question. Obviously, Germany, you may have wanted them to see them in the final versus England. They've lost them in the round of 16. But you have a unique perspective here. You won the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. And you guys shellacked Brazil in a semifinal that if you say sete to any Brazilian, it makes them shudder. Like that 7-1 sends shockwaves through that country. What is it like to walk into somebody else's backyard? What's the mindset like in a major game like that, what Italy's trying to do with England?
So first of all, I have to say that this is, I think, the best final what we can see, the two best teams. And of course, England plays home, 60,000 English guys, Wembley. They're under pressure. And I think for the Italians, it's a big opportunity because they play the third time now in Wembley, but it's not their stadium, but they are super motivated. I think that Italy has a big chance to win this game, and England has to stay quiet, not to overact. And because I think we're playing home and we are the favorites, and the 6 from 7 games we're playing home, so they have to stay calm. Just focus on their games. I'm not thinking about to celebrate the trophy, what we can do afterwards. So this is, I think, the key that they have to play as all the other games what they did in the past.
All right, we will get more into the matchups as we dive through this show, this preview show. Let's go over to Kay, the coach and the keeper.
Well, thank you so much, Dallin. Yes, Kay Murray, Chris Coleman and Tim Howard. And we'd like to talk a little bit about the managers. You've got Gareth Southgate on one side and Roberto Mancini on the other. Chris used to play with Gareth Southgate. Many people talk about him being a born manager. What did you see during your playing days?
I certainly think that in the dressing room I shared, we looked around the dressing room and 99% of the guys we were pointing the fingers at and said, no chance. Is he going to become a manager? And that was me also. But Gareth, you would have thought, yeah, he was always an intelligent guy, super professional, behaved properly, thought deeply about football. And I'm delighted for him, and it's hard as a Welshman to say that. I'm delighted for England they're in the final, but I'm delighted for Gareth because I've known him a long time. And in what he's done as well, he's been true to himself. I criticised England in the early stages. I didn't think they were playing very well, very conservative, Tim. And they've grown into it. But he's just stuck to what he wants to do. He's put himself out there, and now they're in the final. So I'm delighted he's there.
Well, both of the managers know what it means to play for their country. They're now managing their countries, and the same could be said for Mancini. He's been there before too, Tim. He
has been there before, and he had a massive job on his hands when he took over a team that didn't qualify for the 2018 World Cup. He had to get some older players out, some really established players out. You know how difficult that is. He went away from the traditional Italian system in terms of tactically very rigid and structured, gave them freedom, started to press higher up the pitch. And it's all well and good to make changes, but to have them come off and be successful, bring Chiellini back into the fold, who retired, brought him back in as the captain and leader. Every button he's pushed so far has worked.
There's a lot of talk about that, though, Chris, whether if being from the country that you're managing makes a difference. And I think there is an argument to be made it does, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think, often you see managers managing different countries, but I think you never see Italy. The only people that manage Italy are Italians. The only people that manage Germany are Germans. England have had different managers, and it's not quite worked. So I think it is important you capture that emotion and that. If you're patriotic, you catch it more, I think, if you're from that country that you're managing.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.